Alright, a farmer is making a pen structure by connecting 3 poles with ropes as represented by triangle XYZ with the measure of angle X equal to 42 degrees. The length of XY is equal to 19 and the length of XZ is equal to 10. The poles are cemented in place and 2 ropes are tied that measure 19 feet and 10 feet. The angle between the 2 ropes is 42 degrees. What is the length of the third rope represented by segment YZ? So let's decide, are we going to use law of sines or law of cosines? So the fastest way is to look for a pair that has the angle and the side length opposite it. So here's our angle, 42 degrees. I'm actually looking for the side length opposite it, so that eliminates it right from the get-go, and that means we're going to be using the law of cosines. So we want the angle opposite the side length we're looking for, which we have, which is 42 degrees. And then we want the 2 side lengths that create the angle, which we have. They are 19 and 10. So then when we come in here to use the law of cosines, we have our side length that we're looking for, which is YZ, and I'm just going to leave it as little a, so that I don't have to change it in here. So then is equal to our side length that creates the angle plus the other side length that creates the angle, minus 2 times our side lengths. So that's where that comes from, times cosine of the angle opposite the side length we want. So that's 42 degrees. So then we can copy this and jump over to Symbol Lab. And again, this one doesn't copy that squared over very well. So just make sure you either type it in all originally into here or you fix that squared. So then we have the steps again. We're going to multiply our numbers 2 times 19 times 10 to equal 380. So that's how they went from right here to 380. 19 squared is equal to 361. So that's how they went from 19 squared to 361 right there. 10 squared is equal to 100, so that's how they went from 10 squared to 100 right there. Then we add these numbers, 361 plus 100 equals 461, and that's how they ended up with the 461 right there. They used the commutative property to switch these places, which is okay. You can do that. You could also just leave it as 461 minus 380 cosine of 42 degrees. That's totally fine too. So then you have a squared right here, and to solve for a squared, the solutions are x equals the square root of your right hand side and the negative square root of your right hand side. So we have our solution, a is equal to the square root of negative 380 cosine of 42 degrees plus 461, or a is equal to negative square root of negative 380 cosine of 42 degrees plus 461. So the decimal approximation of that is 13.36, and it's said to round it to the nearest tenth if necessary. So how I round it is I think, is 36 closer to 40 or closer to 30? And 36 is closer to 40, so this will be 13.40, and when it's to the 10th, that 0 drops off. So that's where you get 13.4 from. And that's how you'd use law of cosines to answer this question.